Hi, all my lovely children out there. So, this is Miss Jeswina here. Welcome back to today's online session. So, before I get into the session, I really want to thank all of you for your beautiful responses, for all your feedback. My heartfelt thanks. Thank you so much. Okay, darlings? Yes. So, in the previous class, what did we do? We read a poem and we also sang it like a song, isn't it, darling? Shall we sing that once? Yes? Now I request every one of you to stand up and we did an action, right? Like rowing a boat. Will you do that? Yeah. Stand up. Where go the boats? Dark brown is the river, golden is the sand. It flows along forever, with trees on either hand. Green leaves are floating, castles of the foam. Boats of mine are boating, where will all come home? On goes the river, out and past the mill, away down the valley, away down the hill, away down the river, 100 miles or more. All the little children shall bring my boats ashore, shall bring my boats ashore. Very good. That's my children. Okay. So, darlings, how are you spending your quarantine? Are you watching TV all day long? Or are you playing with your gadgets? Are you playing video games? Different mobile games? Are you? No, I know my children are very, very good. I know because this is like not like our normal summer vacation. During the summer vacation we normally visit places, we visit our relatives place. Even if we don't go out of a city, we at least get down on the streets, play with our friends in our neighborhood, isn't it, darling? But all that, it's not possible now, so we are all locked up inside our home. You're all playing with your gadgets. Avoid that, okay, darlings. Instead, in India we have got a lot of indoor games. We have got a lot of Indian traditional indoor games, like you have chess, you have carom, you have palangoli, and then you have ludo. Yes, you can play any of these games with your parents, okay, darlings. You can ask them how their childhood was, what games did they play when they were young, of your age. You can ask like this and you can play these sort of games, okay, darlings. Now, what are we going to do? Before we start a lesson, let us have some fun. Okay? So now ma'am is going to it is our riddle time. I'm going to ask you questions for which you are going to give me the answer. I'm going to ask you 5 riddle. Previous class, I asked you only 1 riddle. Isn't it, darling? You were all very sad, right? This class, I'm going to ask you 5 riddles. Okay? Shall we start then? Yeah. So the first question is, what sport can also be eaten? It is a sport and it is also a fruit. What is the answer? Guess, guess, guess. My children are very, very, very brilliant. Make a guess, darling. Yes, it is squash. So this is the sport and this is the fruit. Now the squash fruit, all these pumpkins and zucchinis, all this come under this family, okay, under this category. So the answer is squash. Second one, 2 people were playing chess, okay, and both won. How did this happen? 2 people were playing chess, okay, and both won. How did this happen? Think, think, think. It is very easy. Yeah, the answer is right. They were playing against the other opponent, okay, so they had different opponent, okay, they both belong to the same team. Your third question, People from which country never fail to complete a marathon? People from which country never fail to complete a marathon? Make a guess, darling. I know you're all so brilliant. I'll give you a clue, another clue. It is a European country. Yeah, the answer is the Finnish. The people from Finland are called as Finnish. So the Finnish people will never fail to complete a marathon. Okay, so this is third question. Now the fourth question. I am a horse without legs and a body. I can jump but not run. I cannot run. What kind of horse I am? I am a horse without legs and a body. I can jump but cannot run. What kind of horse am I? Easy, it's very easy, darling. Easy. Yes, you've got it right. A chess piece. Okay, so the last question. Are you all ready for the last question? We are 5 little things that you use all the time. You will find all of us in a tennis court. So we are 5 little things, okay? You use us every time, okay? We use all these 5 little things every time. It is very common, and you can see them in a tennis court. So you can see these 5 little things in a tennis court. So what is the answer? What is the answer? I'll give you another clue. It is related to English language. Guess, darlings. Yeah, you got it right. The vowels A, E, I, O, U. A tennis court. In this word, we have got all the 5 vowels in it. Wow, my children are so brilliant. Now I know you're all wondering, why is ma'am talking about, all of a sudden she started talking about Indian traditional game, and then now she's conducting a riddle on sports. What is it about? Yeah, you've got that right. Our lesson is somehow related to sports. Now I'm not going to tell you the lesson name, okay? I'm going to ask you another riddle for which you're going to answer me, okay? After that I'll tell you the lesson name, okay? So the riddle is a sport, okay, which is conducted worldwide for the unity and peace among the countries. A sport, a very big sports event which is conducted worldwide, okay, every countries come and participate. This is conducted to bring peace and unity among all the countries. Which event is that? Yeah, my children are right. It is the Olympics. Okay, so today we are going to read a lesson which is related to Olympics, like how Olympics initially started, okay, how it started, why it was started, for whom it was started, who were allowed to participate, what were all the games or the events which took place, okay. So the name of the lesson is the original Olympics. What is the name of the lesson? Yeah. So the name of the lesson is the original Olympics. What is the name of the lesson, darlings? Yes, the original Olympics. Now before we read the lesson, I am going to give a brief note about the ancient Olympics, and then we shall watch a video, after which we shall start reading the lesson. Okay, darlings. Now this ancient Olympics was first recorded in the year 776 BC. When was it first recorded? Yeah, 776 BC. Okay, darlings. It was not started as a as a competition or a very big event. It was actually a religious festival. What was it? A religious festival in honor of King of Gods, Zeus. Okay, so it was actually started as a religious festival in honor of King of Gods, Zeus. Like in India, we have got so many gods, right? We have got god and goddesses for for creation, for wealth, for knowledge, for rain, for sun. Yes, for everything we have got god and goddesses, right? So the same way in ancient Greece also they had different god and goddesses. Okay, darlings. So for all these god and goddesses, Zeus was considered as king of gods. Okay. Initially only men were allowed to participate. So men from the Greek world who had the same religious belief and who spoke the same language was allowed to participate. Okay, women were not allowed to participate. They were not even allowed to be spectators. Okay, darlings. Then eventually this became very famous, and Olympics became the symbol of Greece. Okay, like how in Madurai, Chitrai festival is very famous, isn't it? For Chitrai festival, all around the world people gather and they come to Madurai. Yes. So the same way, people all around the world started traveling to Greece to take part in the religious festival. Okay. So initially they had only foot race. Okay, like how now we have 200-meter dash or 400-meter dash or relay, whatever it is we have. No, so the same way they too had only foot race. Eventually they included boxing, they included wrestling, they included chariot racing, they included javelin and discus throw. Okay. So in the beginning, like I told you, right, any men from the Greek world were allowed to participate. But when all the other countries, when they came forward to take part, they started restricting. Okay. So only professional athletes and people who were in military were allowed to take part in this Olympics. So as I told you, women were not allowed to take part in the Olympic Games. They were not even allowed to watch it. Am I right? I told you, right? Yes. But the women had a different event which was called as Heraean Games. Now this event was exclusively only for the women. Okay. So this was held in honor of goddess Hera. She was considered as queen of all god and goddesses in ancient Greece. So Olympics was held in honor of king of god and goddesses Zeus. Heraean Games was conducted to in honor of Hera, the god and the queen of all god and goddesses. Am I clear? Yes. Then the ancient Olympics came to an end in the year 394 AD. Okay, darlings. So did you understand? Now what you're going to do is you're going to watch a video, okay, which is related to ancient Olympics. You watch that, after which we shall start reading the lesson. Okay, darlings? Yeah.
Every few years, thousands of the finest athletes in the world gather together to compete in the Olympic Games. They come from hundreds of countries, from all parts of the globe, and for the length of the Games, the world comes together on common ground in a celebration of peace and unity. But what are the Olympics? The first Olympic Games took place in Greece nearly 3,000 years ago in 776 BC. They were athletic competitions held in honor of Zeus, the king of the gods. The games happened every 4 years, and during the games there was an Olympic truce when wars and battles were not allowed, so that the athletes from different cities could travel safely to and from the games. Originally, the Olympic Games only had one event, a short race across a stadium. But through the years, more events were added, including boxing, wrestling, long jump, throwing javelins and discus, and chariot racing. In the ancient Olympics, only men were allowed to compete. The winners were awarded a wreath or crown of olive branches, which was a great honor, and often received money and other prizes. The final games of the ancient Olympics were held in 393 AD, ending a tradition of over 1,000 years.
Yes. Did you all like the video? Did you all watch it? Yeah, very good. Now shall we start reading then? Yes. So what is the name of the lesson? The original Olympics. In ancient Greece, there were many sports competition, but the four biggest ones were known as the Pan-Hellenic Games. So there were so many competitions held in the ancient Greece. Among that, four was very important. All those four together was called as Pan-Hellenic Games. The games that took place at Olympia resulted in the formation of the Pan-Hellenic Games. These constituted the following. So the below given list of games together are called as Pan-Hellenic Games. Okay. The games at Olympia known as the Olympic Games. Now this game only was held in honor of King of Gods Zeus. Okay, darling. The games at Delphi was known as Pythian Games. So the games that were held in Delphi was called as, yes, Pythian Games. Now this Pythian Games was held in honor of Apollo, who is known as the god of lights. Okay. Third one, the games at Corinth, also known as Isthmian Games. So the games at Corinth is known as Isthmian Games. Now this game was held in honor of god Poseidon. Okay, this Isthmian Games was held in honor of Poseidon, who was considered as god of seas. Okay. Fourth one, the games at Nemea, known as the Nemean Games, and this Nemean Games also was held in honor of King of Gods Zeus. Okay, darlings. So the games at Olympia was called as, yes, Olympic Games, and it was held in honor of, yes, King of God Zeus. The games at Delphi was called as, very good, Pythian Games, and it was held in honor of Apollo, who was considered as god of light. Yes, third one, games at, yeah, very good, Corinth, which was called as Isthmian Games, and it was held in honor of Poseidon, who was considered as god of sea. Last one, fourth one, games at Nemea, which was called as Nemean Games. Yes, this was also held in honor of King of Gods Zeus. Okay, darlings, are you all clear now? Yeah. The games held a distinctive position in the Greek world since they led to coming together of various states during a period when Greece was not one state, but a number of small city states. So each game has had its own unique quality. And Greece was not one particular state. Okay, so many small cities together was called as Greece. Okay, darlings. These states were politically and economically independent of each other. People traveled not only from the Greece but also other places including Italy, North Africa and Asia to participate or watch these games. The games became an important symbol of Greek culture. So I told you, right? So after people from different parts of the world started traveling and they took part in the games, I mean in the events, and this became a symbol of, yes, Greek culture. People came from all over the Greek world to take part. Many buildings were erected for the games. These were for competitors, important people who came to watch, and religious ceremonies. So they started building in Greece for the competitors to stay and for the competitions to be held. Okay. At Olympia, there was a temple of Zeus. The statue of God was about 13 meters high and was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. So in Olympia, they built a temple for the king of gods, Zeus, and they also kept a statue of Zeus which was 13 meter high, and that statue was considered as one among the wonders in the ancient world, like how now we have 7 wonders, right? So the same way in those days also they had, and this was one among that. game for the gods. The Olympic Games were held in honor of the god Zeus. No one knows exactly when they began, but official records were kept from 776 BC. At first, there was only one event running, but others were added later, such as wrestling, boxing, chariot racing, horse racing, and pentathlon. So I told you, right, the first recorded Olympics was in the year 776 BC, after which and at that time they had only running as an event. Eventually they added all these events. Okay, now what is a pentathlon? Pentathlon is 5 events together is called as a pentathlon. In ancient Olympics they had discus throw, long jump, javelin throwing, running, and wrestling. All these 5 events together was called as a pentathlon. Okay, the prizes were olive wreaths, palm branches, and woolen ribbons. If any athlete had performed really well, a statue was put up in his honor. Okay, darlings. The Pan-Hellenic game had an important position from the religious point of view as well. Every game was played in honor of the following gods. So since these 4 Pan-Hellenic games had religious point of view, it was considered very important. Okay. Zeus, the king of gods at Olympia and Nemea. So the events or the games which was held in Olympia and Nemea was held in honor of Zeus, the king of god. At Delphi, the Pythian games were held, and that was held in honor of Apollo, the god of light. At Corinth, the Isthmian games were held, and that was held in honor of Poseidon, the god of sea. Okay, darlings. So till this, did you all understand? Yeah. Okay, so with this we'll finish today's class. Okay, darlings, with this we shall stop today. We shall continue in the next class. Okay, darlings. Now before that I'm going to give you a small task. Okay, so as I told you in the previous class itself, I told you to maintain a separate notebook, isn't it? So in that, what are you going to do is you are going to write about your favorite sport. It can be any sport. Okay, any sport of your choice, whichever you like, you will write about it. What will you write? Why do you like the sport? Okay, with whom will you play? How many the rules for the sport, how many members should play the sport, anything you can write away. Might be 6 to 7 lines. You can write it as a passage. Do not write as points, you have to write it as a paragraph. Am I clear, darlings? Yes. Okay, so thank you so much, my lovely darlings, for listening to me patiently. So till we get back in the next video, stay safe, stay home. Bye, take care, and thank you so much for listening to me patiently.